about to leave. Already packing, come with me. I'm not ready.
Hello friends and enemies, welcome to another monthly wrap up where I tell you about all the freaking books I read because I didn't go quite as ham this month as I did in February. Because I took a break knowing that April's 30 in 30 days volume challenge was coming and my goal is to read well over 30 volumes in April. So yeah. Alright, on that note, I just want to let everyone know that my reading is not your reading. It's okay if you only read one book. It's okay if you read 0. If you walk away with a book rec, I'm happy. Hopefully you're happy. You know, your reading is yours. Don't compare yourself to my banana pants levels of reading. Please and thank you. On that note, I did read 29 books last month for a total of 6,619 pages. I listened to 47 hours of audio. I didn't track very well. It says I acquired 7 books. I'm pretty sure I acquired more than 7 books. I listened to 8 ebooks, 12 audiobooks, 1 manga physically, and I feel like my data for manga digital is off. I read more manga than it's saying. Whatever. So something around that. I read 8 new to me authors though, which is really great, and I'm very happy about that for sure. I will fix that data later, and I will tell you how many digital mangas I read. I'll pop it up on the screen because apparently I broke my spreadsheet. Okay, so let's get into the books. So as always, anything I talked about in my mid-month wrap-up, I'm just going to tell you my rating and then we'll move on from there. You can go watch my mid-month wrap-up for full details. That's just to keep this short and quick because I don't want to make y'all sit here for an hour. I love watching everyone else's hour-long wrap-ups, but I don't like making them. So that's why I'm just like boom, boom, boom. Big things first, I will link to all videos that are part of this last month that are mentioned in the description box. So if I say that it was in a video, it will be down there, as will all the books I read and my DNFs. We play an even fair game here. So first up, I had 2 DNFs this month. I told myself this year I wanted to DNF faster and more often, and I think I'm doing okay. I mean, I've only had like 3 DNFs this year. I'm doing good. So first up, we have The X-Talk by Rachel Lynn Solomon. This isn't a bad book. It just has my bookish pet peeve of the moment, which is mid-20-year-old characters who can't fathom to see their parents as their own entities outside of their relationships slash like status as mom. And I just didn't love the narrator. I was listening on audio and I just wasn't feeling it. Next, we have The Himalayan Demon by R.H. Rose. I DNF'd it around 30%. I was just not engaged. I did not care. I was reading this in hopes I'd have a good demon recommendation. I didn't like it, so I was like, well, we're not gonna push through for a 2-star that I wanted to use for a recommendation video. Next, I had no 1 stars, so that is a delight as always. This is a rare rating for me to give. Usually it's when I push through something or something's like really, really problematic. Then we have my 1 2-star of the year, which is Broken by Eva Dresden. I talked about this in the Omegaverse reading vlog where I read Omegaverse for 24 hours. Not good. Then we have my 3 stars. So, you know, we're getting through this. I'm going to run through the Omegaverse ones real quick on this. There's only 1 3-star? Yeah. First we have Blind Faith by Brooklyn Roberts. Same thing. It is part of the Omegaverse. Be sure to check that vlog out or my mid-month. And then How to Catch a Queen by Alyssa Cole, which I also gave 3 stars to. Again, it's in my mid-month. I found it very plot-driven and not what I wanted. I'm still curious to read How to Catch a Princess. Then I have Mounted by The Monster Under Her Bed by Mina Shea. It's a 15-page smutty novella. It's free. If you're curious, go check it out. Then The Duke Effect by Sophie Jordan, which also was a 3-star, well, we're in the 3-star section. Why do I keep telling you that? Talked about in my mid-month wrap-up. The 2 3-stars I have out of this last half of the month are Alien Quarantine Rescue by Robin Lovett. This does not shine as bright and wonderfully as her Planet of Desire series, but it was still a really fun read overall, and I definitely enjoyed my time with it. It's banana pants bonkers. It is one of the better quarantine COVID time books I've read. There are now 2 on my list that I would recommend. This is one of them. I don't not recommend it, but I do think like it's just banana pants. If you want banana pants, this is banana pants. It was a little too long, I will say that. And then I also have Gifts of Spring by Shira Glassman, who I really like. This is a short story. It's like $1.50 on Kindle, and it is about spring, and it's in Bavaria, and it features an acrobatic juggler and a trans woman heroine. It's not very dirty. It's a very quick read. It's just about their day together, and it's very sweet. Then my 3.5 stars. From last month, we have Gray Hair Don't Care by Karen Booth. I talked about that in my mid-month. Really good, fun time. And then we have The Warlord Once Forever by Cressley Cole and Untouchable by Cressley Cole. I talked about these in my reading vlog for this, but what I will say is I think that both of these are just okay for the series. That's why you don't read them in the beginning. Well, Untouchable's later in the series anyways, but Untouchable just exists to like fill some holes in the storyline and timelines a little bit and give you like this ice princess heroine who's cool. Like, don't get me wrong, Dani's cool, but she's just Elsa before Elsa existed. And The Warlord Once Forever with Mist and Nikolai is fun and it's a good time, but I just wish it was like, I don't know, I wanted more kind of out of the two of them in a way than what we got, but also I still love them. All right, on to my 4 stars. This is going to be the fastest wrap up ever. Wow, okay. You know what? It's fine. First, from my mid-month wrap up, we have The Omega Academy by Lily Archer, Claimings, Tales, and Other Alien Artifacts by Lynn Gala. Again, Omegaverse, both of these. They're in that vlog. They're fun. Next is Wild Rain by Beverly Jenkins. If you haven't gotten to this yet, you need to. One of my favorite heroines to date. I just had some plotting issues overall, but I don't know, I still keep thinking about bumping it to a 5 stars, so that's how good it was, so maybe that's gonna happen. Then we have Love at First by Kate Claiborne. I read this in my ARC vlog where I read a bunch of ARCs for NetGalley, which are early access copies for reviewers, and I really liked this. I read it late, of course, because I'm behind on everything, but this was a really fun slow burn, like kind of angsty but still really hot book that I could see myself rereading. It's very beautifully written. Kate Claiborne is very talented. Then I read also To Be Alone With You by Jodie Slaughter. This is the other quarantine book that I recommend. It was Chef's Kiss, amazing. Cannot recommend it enough. For the 4 stars that I read in the second half of the month, I read Burn by Suzanne Wright, and this was on Scribd. I highly recommend you check it out. Your library may have it. Mine did not, so I went with Scribd. And I loved this, and I really want to continue the series. I'm hoping to somehow prioritize it after I finish my Alona Andrews read, maybe, to like put it in after, like when IAD's over and I'm done through that reread of Kate Daniels, because I think it'll help me a lot to have another series to read. But yeah, Knox and Harper were amazing. I loved the setups, and I love demons so much. I'm banana pants. It's fine. It's fine. We all know I love demons. Anyways, my 4.5 star for the month is Act Your Age, Eve Brown. Act Your Age, Eve Brown by Talia Hibbert was everything. I felt very connected to Eve Brown. I am not autistic, but the neurodivergent discussion of things sometimes does obviously hit things when you have other neurodivergent issues. And yeah, this was just really, really fun overall, and I am just so glad I read it and that I adored it. I did get an audio arc through Libro FM's audio listening program for reviewers and people with platforms, so thank you so much to them. If you haven't tried Libro FM, I cannot recommend it enough. I really, really love them. They don't pay you to do that, like to review or anything. I love sharing the love about their platform, because honestly, they're bomb. Next, my 1 5-star was Magic Bleeds by Kate Daniels. This was so good. I talked about it in my mid-month. I feel like we're like really picking up the pace in the storyline. I cannot wait to read the next one. It just came in from the library like today. Then my 6-star reads, which are my personal scale of all-time favorites. We have 2 books. One was from last month, which is Kiss of a Demon King by Cressley Cole. This continues to be a favorite. I'm like holding my tripod because my cat is trying to rub on it, which is an all-time favorite. And I knew that it would be because I love Sabine and I love Rydstrom and I love their dynamic, but it's really a 6-star because I'm in love with Sabine. I won't lie. Then I also read, literally finished it on the last day of the month, and I forgot to update Goodreads, so that was a fun time today. I finished Neon Gods by Katee Robert. I was nervous, as anyone and everyone probably is anytime they pick up a Hades and Persephone retelling, and I've just got to say that I'm happily surprised. I'm very pleased by this book. I am in love with this book. I want to get the audio and re-listen to it when it comes out. I will be pre-ordering a physical copy for my shelves. There's just no way that I'm not going to own this book. This is one of the top tier Hades and Persephone retellings. This comes out in like June, I think. I will put the date up down here for you. This, I again got an early copy to review, and this blew me away. So you're in Olympus, which has the upper and lower cities. The 13 are all of the Greek gods, but these are titles inherited, not titles like because they've lived an eternity together. Hold on. My cat is seriously like, absolutely not. You need to pay attention to me. So we're gonna multitask while we talk about Neon Gods and look at toe beans. Look at the toe beans. Yeah, so we inherit titles. Hades had some bad shit happen. Of course, Persephone is told that she is going to marry Zeus, who is like old and gross and like keeps murdering his Heras. And she runs across the river Styx over the bridge into Hades' territory, into the underworld, the lower city, and he saves her. And it follows their bargain for the next 3 months. And what happens is delightful, delectable. If you are a little too nervous to try the Wicked Villains or some of the other books by Katee because you're afraid they're like too much for you, this may work. This one definitely features a little more dom sub stuff. You know, that's in there, but it actually really is a lot more lighter kinks overall, I would say. There's voyeurism a little bit and like public sex stuff happening, but nothing is like public sex with consent, but nothing too banana pants is happening as far as that goes. You know, there's no CNC in this or any of that, which is consent, non-consent. So you could try this one if you were like too nervous to try Wicked Villains. And it's really great because this Hades is so different from the Hades and Learn My Lesson, and my cat is now climbing on things, so this is just great. Anyways, yeah, Neon Gods was amazing. I buddy read this with my friend Shay over at Shay Geeks Out, so thank you, Shay, for reading it, sending me your reactions, and letting me send you reactions over 2 weeks, as I literally did not want to finish it. It was so good. I did not want to finish, like, at all. It was the last thing I wanted to do. I'm sad it's over. I'm sad it's over. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really sad it's over. And yeah, that is everything I read for books. I'm gonna give you a quick rundown of my mangas, but tomorrow I will be posting my manga and anime wrap up for the quarter. So if you want to check that out, feel free to do so. I will go over all the mangas I read in the last 3 months in that video, and I will talk about the animes I watched, because I decided that I would start doing those possibly monthly moving forward. We'll see. I know April's gonna get its own because it's gonna be a lot of manga for 30 and 30. So yeah, the mangas I read were Komi Can't Communicate Volume 8. I gave this 4 stars. I've been getting bored with Komi. I've said this before, but I do have 3 more volumes checked out from the library that I'm hoping to get through in April. My Boyfriend in Orange Volume 6 through 8. I'm officially caught up. This is in KU. I really, really like this. Okay, so there's only 2 mangas I read in the last half of the month, the 2 series. So I read Volume 1 of Sacrificial Princess and the King of Beasts. This was fantastic. If you are like me and you love monsters and princesses, this is perfect. He is a beast most of the time, and he's really grumpy, and she is just kind of like not gonna take his shit and not listen, and she's gonna survive instead of being sacrificed, is what she says. Sacrificed. So that was delightful, and I gave it 5 stars. No, 4 stars, and I can't wait to continue. I've literally already ordered all of them. The other thing I read was Takane and Hana Volume 2 and 3, which I'm still sold on. I know it's a little bit weird with the age gap. I get it. I totally understand. I give them both of them 4 stars. But I I laugh every time I read this manga, so it's really hard for me to give it up, like even though I'm a little squicked out by the age stuff, because I literally can't stop laughing while I read it. So this is Takane and Hana. She dresses up like her sister for a marriage arrangement thing, and he realizes it's not the girl, like not her sister, and starts needling her at the meeting, and she like flips out on him, and then he shows up at her school to like apologize, and it kind of goes from there where they start to build this kind of relationship that's not, no lines are being crossed really at all. Like there's nothing, you know, untoward happening. I would be noping out right away if that was happening. So yeah, it's just kind of funny and silly. It's not, obviously it's not really ideal. I'm not saying that, like, but it does crack me up every time I read it. So I've continued reading it. I mean, I don't know, something about it hits a spot for me. But yeah, I'm really liking Takane and Hana, and I will tell you about all the other mangas I read in that manga wrap up on Monday, so be sure to check that out if you're curious. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. Let me know your favorite book you read in March, or a book you're really looking forward to in April. And if you don't want to do that, you can drop a clock emoji in the comments, because I feel like March flew by so fast and I did not read like half of the things I wanted to read. So whew, we'll see how April goes. I'm already a little stressed about my April TBR too. It's not a TBR really, it's just the things like I want to read. So thank you so much for watching. I will catch y'all in literally tomorrow in my next video, and you can find links to everything in that description box. Bye.
Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know.